Welcome to Flash Fried, y'all.
Whispers McMillan. Everybody loves Whispers McMillan, dude.
Real women vote for Trump.
Everybody's a fan of Whispers McMillan.
Real women vote for Trump. Looking for a new ass to hump. Look at this. I'm wearing the Make America Great Again hat.
Because you sincerely believe in that hat and the
I
ideals.
do. I
course.
do.
So what do you think about Trump's latest statements, TJ?
I like them.
You like all
I
of
like
them?
all of it. Yep,
All
everyone.
great statements?
All of them.
Even the ones that look bad are just 4D chess. And they will
4D
be revealed
chess.
to be good down the road.
Yeah, you think you know what
Right.
Trump's up to? You don't.
That's really interesting, TJ. 'Cause
You
latest
don't
tweet-
know.
His latest tweet was actually directed at you. Sorry, I got to pull
Yeah,
my
pull
phone.
it on up.
TJ Kirk is a worthless piece of shit that deserves nothing but a swift death.
4D chess. 4D chess.
You're fine with that
That's
tweet?
not how he really feels. 4D
Right.
chess.
40. All right, cool.
He just
4D
wants people to
chess.
think that he feels that way about TJ so that he can
drop
elevate
the
TJ.
other foot. You wait till the other foot drops, then you'll see the truth.
The foot.
The Foot Clan, man. So I went to Taco Bell, and Paul, just to piss me off extra, comes back praising this Taco Bell.
Sorry, man. I went there today and it was.
Well, I had a bad time because
You know-
I went and I have the same Taco Bell order. I've had the same Taco Bell order for decade.
18 double-decker tacos.
13 years, 15 years, whatever. I go up,
3 super side fry.
3 super side fry. No. I go up there and I say, I want 2 double-decker taco supremes and a bean burrito and a medium Pepsi. Sometimes they do a large.
You know what they said? Fuck no, bitch.
This time I went up there, I'm like, yeah, I want 2 double-decker taco supremes. She's like, we don't do those anymore.
Good.
And you know what? I fucking lost my shit, right? It's a good thing I don't have. If I had a gun, I'd be fucking covered on today's Flash Fried.
You know what?
I even told her, I'm like, you don't. I'm saying, well then, fuck you then. And I
wanna
drove
applaud.
up and I was honking at the fucking store, and I
Damn.
was like, fuck
So
you,
you-
taco cunt, you fucking bitch.
You think that lady herself
You're an asshole,
canceled
TJ.
them?
Well, I was on the phone with Chelsea at the time, and she's like, baby, don't be mad at the worker. And I'm like, well, I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm calling the whole Taco Bell a bitch.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
she actually believed me
You know what, TJ?
because I was lying. I was calling
I
that woman a
applaud
bitch.
the brave people on the
You
front
know, I know
lines.
she was just the messenger, but you know what? I now understand why they say don't kill the messenger, because the urge to is strong.
The brave
You're
people on the
fucking
front lines,
crazy.
TJ. Look,
You're probably
Taco
right.
Bell corporate made a decision. That employee has no say in that
Yeah.
decision, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
So you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
I
the
mean,
asshole here.
I'm definitely the
You
asshole.
yelled
here.
at a poor taco lady.
Fuck you! I want double-decker taco supreme now, bitch.
Somebody
Fuck
that like
this shit.
slaves away all day for a pittance, and you made their day shitty.
You know
for
what?
no reason
You know
other
what?
than your gullet could not be satisfied.
I don't blame myself. I blame Taco Bell
you know
for
what,
putting her
TJ?
in that position.
Double-decker tacos, I hate to break it to you, dude. They kind of suck.
No, double-decker tacos
kinda
are
suck.
fucking delicious.
They
And you
kinda
know
suck.
what? I went to the store immediately after that, and I got the stuff to make my own double-decker tacos, and I did.
Dude, that was a 90s fucking marketing gimmick, TJ. Let that shit die.
No.
Yeah.
No!
Fucking hung on.
No!
Hung on for like 25 fucking years, dude. Tastes have changed. You're fucking disgusting.
Bring back a
Your
double-decker
disgusting
taco.
fried bean taco.
Hashtag
is fucking
bring
dead,
back a
bitch.
double-decker
It's
taco.
dead. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
dead,
it's
and I
gone,
love it,
man.
TJ.
All right, check this out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. What the fuck is this? Get off the damn screen.
Where's the double-decker
Shut up.
taco?
Taco Bell is killing off 9 menu items
Fucking
in major
crybaby.
revamp.
Okay.
So here's what they
Good.
got rid of. The beefy mini quesadilla.
Fuck it.
Who cares? Chips and salsa. Yeah, who were you kidding? Chipotle chicken loaded griller. Never had that, but it
Whoa,
kinda
what?
sounds good.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Cool Ranch Doritos. No, you know what? They've gone too far. They have gone too far.
Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos are gone. Fiery
What the
Doritos
fuck?
Locos Tacos are gone. The double tostada is gone. The power menu burrito is gone. And the XXL grilled stuffed burrito, which
know
I
what?
also get sometimes, is gone.
I'm sorry, TJ. I retract.
What the fuck,
I
Taco
retract
Bell?
everything I said. The Cool Ranch Doritos Loco. That's one of my fucking favorite things, dude. The
Well,
fiery.
not anymore. It's gone.
What the fuck
Gone.
has Taco Bell done, dude? They've gone mad with power.
I'm fine with this.
What do you get at Taco Bell, you
What do
queer?
you get?
Dude, because here's the thing. I go to taco, and this is going to sound crazy. I get tacos. at Taco Bell. I get 3 crunchy
me
tacos.
too. A
Yeah, me
double-decker
too.
taco.
No, I don't. I don't get a double-decker bullshit. I just get 3 crunchy tacos with some fire sauce.
Oh, well, okay, so Mr. fucking Milk Toast over here is
Sorry.
fine because he just gets,
Yeah.
I just want a taco.
All I wanted, though,
because
Paul-
I'm a fucking simpleton.
I get the same thing as you. I just want a shell that's a little more flavorful.
Yeah, and
Well,
I just want,
I'm sorry for you,
I want to
Scotty.
wrap that taco up in a, like, how hard is it to slather some fucking
TJ,
beans
you know what?
on a goddamn tortilla
You know why
and wrap
mine-
it around the
You
fucking
know what?
taco?
You
It's
know why
easy
mine's
as
bullshit?
shit.
You know why
Fuck
mine's bullshit? Fuck you.
Fuck you,
Fuck
Taco
you.
Bell.
Fuck you. Mine's the real tragedy here, TJ, because mine's just a fucking shell. They're still gonna make tacos. You're
No,
just
mine's the real tragedy because
No,
they
it's
still
not.
have all the
it's
shit
a marketing
to make it.
gimmick from the 90s, and you
They
remember
still have
it.
all the
And you
shit to
fucking
make a
remember
double-decker
it.
taco
You
there.
fucking remember it. In the 90s when that came out. You know what? Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it was
Shaq
good back
promoted
then.
that shit.
Yeah, in the 90s, TJ. Come to the fucking present time.
No.
Get in the fucking
I don't
time
want to
machine.
live in
Oh,
a
wait,
world
you don't.
without the
You're already in
double-decker
the
taco,
present,
you son of a
fucking
bitch.
idiot.
Fuck you.
Then fucking blow your brains out.
Maybe I fucking will.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
What the fuck just happened?
Something important, Paul.
See, this is why I don't give a shit.
Maybe people like you don't give a shit. 'cause
I'm
you
sorry,
Can,
I don't.
you can afford to just live in
Dude,
your
listen.
fucking ivory tower.
Because listen what it means for me. The simple taco lover. It means that they've got more time to focus on making me a good, crispy, simple taco. And that's all I want from Taco Bell. That's
right.
all I've ever wanted.
Scotty, I think we can both agree that Paul needs to die.
Yes, 100%.
Can you get me a couple of crispy tacos before I go?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Before we kill you, we'll get you like
We're
at
going to
least 3.
feed them to you rectally.
Sounds tasty. In that case, get the extra fire sauce.
All right, it's time to say what everyone's been thinking this whole time.
What's that?
Aliens are real, y'all.
Whoa.
U.S. Navy says tracking UFOs. We already kind of knew that.
I mean, yeah, we've seen this shit before.
So the Navy acknowledged for the first time last week that unidentified aerial phenomena shown in widely disseminated videos are real. So basically, weirdly enough, former Blink-182 guitarist Tom DeLonge posted some fucking UFO videos that were apparently leaked from the U.S. government. And the U.S. government has confirmed that they're real. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of these videos. One's from off the coast of San Diego in 2004. One's in the Atlantic waters in 2015. And the Navy has now acknowledged these videos as depicting actual unidentified aerial phenomena.
So
Whoa.
are UFOs now UAPs? Do we have to change how we're talking about this?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's how they're calling them. They're
UAPs.
calling them UAPs.
UAPs. Yeah, official UAP footage.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You can change the name all you want. It's a fucking UFO. Unidentified flying object, which we all know, if it's unidentified, that means it's aliens.
Definitely aliens.
I jump immediately to the conclusion that aliens are piloting these goddamn ships.
You know what? That might seem like a specious conclusion, TJ, but I think you're onto something.
Dude, did you guys watch, this is kind of unrelated, but really it is related. Did you guys watch the appearance of Dan Aykroyd on the Joe Rogan podcast or whatever the fuck,
clips
Joe Rogan
from it.
Experience?
I've seen some of the, like, when he's talking about Bigfoot and shit. I've seen clips.
Yeah,
Did you watch
Dan
the whole
Aykroyd
thing?
is a fucking lunatic, man.
I know that. Yeah.
Like,
I've known that for a while.
I,
I mean,
I have too, because I knew he believed in like the crystal skulls and all this shit.
he was selling, like, miracle water and stuff. I
He
can't
was
remember.
selling tequila too,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
or some
remember,
some kind of beverage.
when you get as rich as Dan Aykroyd, you can afford to be crazy.
Well, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, you
It's
know,
like Randy Quaid, too. Randy Quaid is off his fucking nut. But,
Yeah,
you know,
you
whatever.
ain't
He's a
kidding,
funny
dude.
guy.
Didn't he get in trouble like crossing like over from Canada or something?
I don't know.
He did a bunch
He's
of crazy
always in
He
shit.
gets in
trouble.
trouble for every fucking thing he does. He wakes up every day and gets in new trouble.
Yeah, but Dan Aykroyd stays out of trouble because he has all that money to insulate him. Like he started
true.
House
I mean,
of
how much
Blues
money
and
does
shit.
Dan Aykroyd really
Dude,
fucking
he
have?
founded
Like,
House
it's been a
of
while.
He was rich.
Oh, did he? Okay, well then he's rich.
Yeah, he's rich. Dude, he has all that Trading Places money. He has all the Ghostbusters money. He's been depicted in multiple Ghostbusters
he's
properties.
fucking loaded.
What's
dude.
his net worth? Oh, 135 million.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
there
Scotty
you
said
go.
he like is one of the founders of the House of Blues, and obviously those are fucking everywhere. So, all right, I guess he's pretty rich. It's pretty crazy. We got some rich dude out there fucking like, yeah, the crystal skulls, Bigfoot's real, everything that you. He's like fucking Agent Mulder from the X
Dude,
Files.
I want to believe. I want to believe in these things. I honestly
want
do.
to believe.
I want to believe in cryptozoology. I want to believe in Bigfoot. I'm ready for UFOs.
You know,
It's a-
another
yeah.
thing is that the Storm Area 51 They Can't Stop Us All event is scheduled for this Friday.
Cool.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes down.
Nothing will happen.
What will happen? Who knows?
A bunch of dorks on the internet are gonna fucking rush Area 51. I don't think so, dude.
Let's see them aliens. I actually read that logistically it's pretty much impossible for it to happen because, like, the roads that lead to Area 51 are not even meant to handle the level of traffic that
not gonna happen.
would.
Dude, you know a few people
supposedly
are going to
happen.
show
Oh
up.
well, yeah, they're gonna.
There's gonna be-
Somebody's going to show up. Sure.
And
There
then
might be
the
a couple people get
military's going to have
arrested.
to scare people off
Yep.
because
Yep.
some people are going to go no matter what, dude. They want to see dim aliens.
I want to see them aliens.
I kind of do too. I kind of now I'm considering going now that it's falling apart because that's going to be interesting.
The most interesting to me was I heard people talk this. I mean, this guy that they give credit to for this thing, he did not come up with this shit. Number one, people have talked about this shit for years. I've watched a bunch of these alien conspiracy video nuts.
Can't stop us all.
Yeah, the ones that go to Area 51 and get arrested by MPs and shit. I've seen that shit. That's what they always end with. Is like, if we all just show up there. So it's gonna be like a bunch of people that believe earnestly that they're gonna show up there and they're all just gonna walk in.
Dude, what if a bunch of people showed up and a military dude with a big, armed guard comes out and he goes, "All right, fine," and he whips the fucking cover off of one of them aliens, dude, in a jar. And he's like, "There you go. That's what we got.
You seen it? Go.
Now get the fuck out of here." Woo!
That would be cool.
Yeah, we saw dim aliens. That'd be dude. That's the type of world that I advocate for. That's the happy ending world.
Yep.
We get to see dim aliens. The government's a little more honest with us now about knowing about dim aliens, so they don't got to keep lying. We can reach out and contact dim aliens,
Yeah.
and maybe they can save us.
It's about fucking time. All right, so next story is multiple injuries after car plows in the lobby of New Rochelle's Trump Plaza.
Whoa, is this a terrorist attack?
Were they angry or just stupid?
I think it was an accident, actually.
Okay, it's just
At least 2 people have been injured after
So
a car
stupid.
plowed into the lobby of New Rochelle's. Am I saying that right? Is it Rochelle or
New
Raquel?
Rochelle.
Oh
You're fine.
shit.
Okay. Trump Plaza. You know I suck at pronouncing weird.
It's actually True Ump Plaza.
True Ump Plaza.
Pronouncing?
Pronouncing.
I suck at pronouncing.
I suck at pronouncing.
Indeed.
There you go. CBS2's Tony Aiello.
Aiello.
Was on the
PJ.
scene as an emergency crews rushed into the luxury high-rise around 9 p.m. Tuesday night. The black Mercedes left a trail of destruction and broken glass in the front of the building on Huguenot Street.
Oh man, this is like a
What?
fucking tongue teaser for TJ.
Before
Huguenot
Street, before coming to stop inside Trump Plaza's main entrance. Luckily, all the injuries are said to be minor at this time. I seen a driver sitting over there in the doorman and concierge. In them?
Whoa.
The concierge has got her. He was
Damn.
sitting in the chair. He was bleeding. He just really shook up. Maintenance worker Kevin
Who
Jenkins
definitely
said.
fits his job description.
Thurgood Jenkins.
I done done that there and ain't bleeding. Jesus Christ. Hire a better caliber of maintenance
It's some
worker. for
H.P.
fuck's sake.
Lovecraft dialogue here.
They was from some place where things ain't as they is here. Blah, 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 blah. And, at first, I even saw people on Twitter, like, celebrating this person, like, yeah, Ram Trump Plaza. But then they're like, oh, it was just an accident, actually. It was not actually like a,
There's nothing
Yeah,
political.
because Trump's going to be fucking so affected by someone doing this to
Yeah,
begin
this
with.
you showed Trump. You
Why
showed him.
wouldn't it? Like, Trump loves this. He gets to cash an insurance check and skim off of it.
Yeah. Fucking retards. Like, Trump makes more money. Oh, no.
So it doesn't actually say in this article it was an accident, but that's what I've heard elsewhere. So
Damn.
That's what it
that
appears
car's
to be.
legitimately up in the plaza.
yeah, it drove up in there.
Maybe they just wanted to drive through the plaza. They're just tired of walking.
Yeah.
They're a lazy American. Like, you know what? I'll just drive through.
Yeah,
Just didn't
Build
work
the
out.
tunnel under Trump Plaza so we can go through it.
maybe this person was commenting on the, hey, you want to see how fucking well these walls keep people out? I'll show you.
Yeah, I don't know. Who
So-
cares?
So, Paul, you don't think you think there should be an age limit on the presidency and shit?
Yeah, on both ends.
Both ends?
Yeah.
What is the age
Well, you
range?
can't be too young either, is what he's saying.
Right, yeah. I'm saying, like, the current, like, what do you got to be? Like
35.
35
to
you
run
gotta
for
be
pre-
now.
Yeah,
Correct.
35.
So you like that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I would say something like 65.
65?
Yeah.
All right, so Paul, you got an ally.
I do?
You have an ally.
A powerful
and-
one.
Another ageist just like me?
Yeah, and you know what? It happens to be a former fucking president.
Oh,
Jimmy
shit.
Carter says age 80 would have been too old to be president. I hope there's an age limit, he joked, without mentioning the Democratic candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders would turn 80 in office if elected. Age is not just a number when you're the leader of the free world, according to former President Jimmy Carter. Carter, who turns 95 on October 1st, said Tuesday that managing the job of U.S. president even at age 80 would have been too demanding for him. If I were just 80 years old, if I was 15 years younger, I don't believe I could undertake the duties I experienced when I was president.
Oh, shit.
Carter, the longest-lived U.S. leader, said during his annual report at the Carter Center in Atlanta. You have to be very flexible with your mind. You have to be able to go from one subject to another and concentrate on each one adequately and then put them together in a comprehensive way. Carter's remarks began on a light note when he was asked if he'd consider running for a second term. I hope there's an age limit, he replied, laughing. Carter did not mention that two of the leading Democratic 2020 candidates, former vice president, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Trump or Biden will turn 80. Well, I guess Bernie,
Trump
too.
would, Bernie
would.
would.
I think Bernie's actually the
Biden
oldest.
would.
Yeah, Bernie. I
Bernie's
think-
older. Bernie's older than all of them, except for Mike Gravel, who's obviously has no even
but he's
remote
not,
chance.
He is supporting Bernie Sanders now.
Yeah, so Mike Gravel's like Bernie, but
the-
he's like 90 some or 80. He's in his 80s.
I have a feeling that were Bernie not a candidate, a lot more people would agree with me on this.
Yeah, if it was just Trump and Biden who were really old,
Right.
people would just be like,
yeah,
Paul
you're
makes
right."
sense. Yep.
But because they've got an oldie in the race, they're like, no, wait, let us screw. It's like, no, man. You got to apply it like, look, dude, I don't think Bernie's shown anything that would lead me to believe he's going to go deranged or whatever the fuck. Or lose his mental faculties to the point where, I'm
think
not
it's
trying to
but
say
Shouldn't
that.
you want that?
I think
I'm
it's,
just saying
'cause
that
imagine, Paul,
that's possible. And
imagine
when
if-
it does happen,
Yeah,
it starts
yeah.
happening
So-
really fast.
If Bernie gets elected, dude, imagine you go see now. It's like, nuke 'em all!
I mean, that's the extreme example, but more
You can hope for that, though.
More so, I think Jimmy Carter there fucking elucidated the reasons why it bothers me. You have to
The
be,
fitness.
yeah, you have to not only have the mental acuity to jump back and forth between super complex topics and make big calls that have big implications. You have all of the public, appearances and stuff that you have to make as the president, all of the travel that you have to do as a president, all of the meeting with world leaders and making policy and discussing policy and all of that shit, projecting the power of this country. Like, there's so much to this job, and like putting an 80-year-old in it, everybody should be scared by that. Because I'm sorry, dude, maybe there are some 80-year-old, maybe there's some 120-year-olds out there that are just as spry as the day they were fucking 16 or whatever the fuck.
120 seems to be kind of the upper limit of the human lifespan, no matter how
Whatever it
much
is.
longevity there is.
Whatever it is, like, look, dude, there are certainly outliers. Maybe Bernie is one, but I think it behooves us as a nation, and we can do it after Bernie if you want.
Right. I don't think there should be a limit, but I do think it's a valid area of discussion. I think that there does come a point where it's like, I think Gravel was definitely too old. I think Bernie is honestly the cusp of what I consider too old. I think that if you look at someone and it's like, okay, if they're going to be president for at least 4 years, like, how old are they going to be at the end of that? Because Bernie's going to be like, what, like 84, 85 or something?
Yeah, I think we fucking
Or
dumping.
83 at least?
I think we dumping the leaves back in the pool for Bernie.
Yeah, I mean,
what's
like,
gonna happen?
is there even going to be a possibility of a second term if he wins the first term,
And what was
Going to
his-
leave office, when he's knocking on 90's door?
There've been some presidents that have declined in office before.
Reagan.
Reagan
Yeah.
is one.
Reagan definitely was showing signs of Alzheimer's when he was in office.
mean,
Oh,
Trump-
absolutely.
Trump definitely is declined.
Well, hey, don't say that too loud. That gets you into murky waters. Because you're diagnosing a current person with this, that, or the other thing. It just I want to avoid that
yeah.
by
I
putting
mean,
an upper age limit that
well, it's
gives
a
us a
fact.
reasonable assurance that we're dodging the cognitive decline that comes with fucking age.
The thing is that even if you don't have a significant decline, someone like Trump at his age range has definitely had some cognitive decline. It's demonstrable. If you look at his vocabulary, if you look at his probably
Yeah, I mean, like you
reflexes,
watch
reactions.
Trump back in like the 80s or 90s. It's not like he's like blowing you away with how brilliant he is or something, but he does seem a little bit sharper. He still seems like pretty much a dumb monosyllabic caveman fuck to me, but he seems, I guess, marginally faster than he is now.
Oh, I don't know.
But, I definitely don't see a precipitous decline in Trump. I think he's just kind of stupid, honestly.
I get caught up in this because people like to discuss it, but it's really not the worst thing facing us. We've got bigger fish to fry. I'm not saying stop the fucking system of government right now until there's an upper age limit. I'm just saying maybe we ought to discuss it as a people.
I think it's a valid thing to discuss, honestly.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I'm a horrible ageist. Did I do an ageism?
You did an ageism, Paul.
Shit.
You did an ageism. Let me ask you guys a question. Crowd size at political events. Does it matter or does it not matter?
Definitely matters.
It matters, but there's context to it mattering. Where it takes place, how many people were busting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How many? Because we've seen these stories where people will bus in entire fucking groups of these fake protesters or fake fucking rally goers.
There's definitely people who, as a living, will I'm just a space filler.
Right. It's a malleable thing.
Right. And the thing is too, I guess the conventional wisdom for a long time is that crowd size is kind of like, whatever. That doesn't really mean much. But I guess that conventional wisdom is turning around, and there's a lot of new focus, according to this, on crowd size. Apparently, new focus on crowd size as Warren event rivals Trump.
That's definitely a good sign for her.
The fight raged on as Trump continued to obsess and fret over crowd size, boasting, touting, and sometimes inflating his own adoring masses at campaign rallies and presidential events. Then finally this week, the Democrats, who have long tried to ignore Trump's bigger is better ethos, offered a tangible response of their own in the form of Elizabeth Warren's Monday rally in New York City's Washington Square Park. Obviously, New York City is a fucking population hub, probably the biggest population hub. Isn't that the highest concentration of people anywhere in this country?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Where the senator from Massachusetts showed that she, too, could match the spectacle of Trump right down to the large cheering throngs.
Now, the 20,000 number they give here,
attended by about 20,000 people, according to this.
When Bernie, I actually did this. Actually, had some research from this. When Bernie ran last time, his biggest crowd was in the New York area, and it was 29,000 people.
Right.
So Warren's numbers are not bad, but that actually does not match Bernie at his peak.
And these numbers, there's nobody doing
there's not a head. There's not a person.
Right. This isn't exact.
There's not a person doing an actual head count.
That's
1, 2. No one's counting that.
Because Trump did the same thing with his inauguration and shit.
It was 11 billion people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the pictures.
Every single human on Earth was there.
Truth.
Yeah. Well, number one, look at when Obama was inaugurated. I mean, it's not even a comparison. He had way more people turn out for his first term.
So there's, can we get a sweeping
so there we
crowd
go.
shot?
Okay, so
that's a lot of people, but I don't know that it's 20,000.
I mean, well, obviously we're not seeing the full okay, here's a better backup shot. Let's take a look at this. Oops. Can we get a bigger version of that? Nope, not that one.
This is what you want.
This
is a very good sign for Warren. This is what you would expect in this area if she was a leading candidate. At least 20,000 to 30,000 people are going to stop by and see.
So this looks like it's probably the widest shot we have. I wish there was a fucking aerial shot. So this is in, what do they say, Lincoln Square? Yeah, I don't really know the size of that place. So it's kind of still hard to gauge, but it definitely looks like there's a pretty sizable amount of fucking people there.
Yeah,
where the fuck is the stage in this setup? Is it?
She's in the middle under the arch.
She's under the fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, she's in the
front
arch
of the flag, like a fucking weird dictator.
It definitely looks weird to me. So yeah, let's take a closer look here. So yeah, there she is in front of the flag. I'm Elizabeth Warren. Yay, Warren time. Kind of weird that she did this late at night. It'd probably look a little bit better.
It's cooler.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of cooler. It'd probably look better in terms of the crowd size. If,
for sure.
Well, you can
you
fudge
did
the
during the
numbers more if it's dark.
That's true. Good point.
10,000 people showed up. Let's make it 20. They were all in the darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old
20,
friend.
let's say
Whatever.
30.
Inflating crowd totals again.
We've seen, it is quite odd, and this is not a modern thing either. Manipulating crowd size and shit and fudging the numbers on that is a great way to give a candidate this sense of momentum and steam and all of this shit. So knowing that is something that's happened in the past over and over and over again, all the way up to the modern era, it just makes me kind of discard.
Trump definitely likes to inflate his crowd.
Well,
now, he does attract big crowds, but he likes to make them insanely big.
Well,
you know,
having
in
the
his
big
mind.
campaign rallies, that's a good sign. I don't think it's necessarily the best way to reach voters, but it's definitely a good thing, indication of the health of a campaign.
It just seems to me like
What happened to Hillary? What was the perception around Hillary's campaign? No one showed up to her
no
events.
one's showing up to her events because
So,
there's no actual
obviously,
energy behind her.
Warren and these other people are cognizant of that fact, and the people
Yeah,
running
they're
their
like,
campaigns
we can't come across like
the
Hillary
optics-
where no one's showing
Yeah,
up.
the optics have to be a lot of people are excited.
We can't have fucking photos of like I'm
empty
doing an
high
event
school
at the
gymnasium.
local Costco and there's like 3 people in line to sign, get the book signed or
And
whatever.
I think
the fuck.
Trump plays a role in pushing this crowd size thing too, because he just packs out stadiums everywhere he goes.
Right, so people want to compete with that and show like that we
And
have the enthusiasm too.
I've seen some pictures that were taken at some of these rallies that show empty seats and shit, but I'll tell you what Trump's been really good at, shooting that from an angle that makes that stadium look like it's brimming with people.
Yeah.
They're
Playing
spilling
up the
out
numbers.
spilling out into the streets. So speaking of Trump, it's time for the Trump.
Right on the Trump train.
Trumpity Trump. Trump says homeless Californians are ruining cities' prestige. Fucking homeless people.
How dare they?
President Donald Trump lamented the nation's homelessness crisis on
Terrible.
Tuesday, not because so many Americans are unable to afford safe and stable housing, but rather because it's supposedly affecting the prestige of California cities
The main concern you should have
like
is
Los Angeles and San Francisco. We can't let Los Angeles, San Francisco, and numerous other cities destroy themselves by allowing what's happening, the president said, speaking of homelessness to reporters on Air Force One on a flight to Mountain View, California, about a 45-minute drive from San Francisco. But we have our people living in our best highways, our best streets, our best entrances to buildings, and pay tremendous taxes, where people in those buildings pay tremendous taxes. Excuse me, sorry. Where they went to those locations because of the prestige, Trump added. In many cases, they came from other countries and they moved to Los Angeles or they moved to San Francisco because of the prestige of the city. And all of a sudden, they have tents, hundreds and hundreds of tents and people living at the entrance to their office building, and they want to leave.
All right, I got a hot take on this.
Go ahead.
Trump's right.
Yeah.
He's right. I don't think the intentions behind what he's saying are correct, but Trump is right. It is a blow to the prestige of all American cities that there are homeless people laying in the doorways of the upscale buildings and the government areas.
What I'm
and the
scared about
parks.
is he wraps all this up by saying we're going to do something about it. Because it doesn't really seem like anything in any of his statements indicates like, we need to help these people or something. It's like, we got to
Right.
get rid of this.
Because
So I'm just wondering, like, are we going to send out the fucking death squad,
TJ,
round up all the homeless people,
Hello, TJ. I
fucking
have a
dump them
solution.
in Lake Michigan or something?
What if we send these people to a nice camp?
Welcome to homeless camp.
Paul, we're going to take good care of you here.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why this resonates so poorly with people is because he talks about all the hoity-toity buildings, but the overarching point stands.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a major city and you're claiming to be the first, number one country in the world, the leader of the free world, and you've got literal oceans of homeless camping out on every fucking flat surface in your cities, yeah, that is a blow to the prestige of not just that city, but this country. And
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
going to address it, you can't just round these people up and move them off the streets because more will replace them. Because you haven't touched the mechanism that allowed these people to get to the point where they live on the fucking streets.
Well, that's the part that worries me.
Ah, yes. It's as if we need to find a
'Cause
solution.
I shudder to think of the Trump solution to the homelessness problem. It's like, we're going to get bulldozers.
I mean,
we're going to bulldoze over the homeless.
Are we not used to him saying he's gonna do this and gonna do that, and
do
then
nothing.
and it never does, or he changes the rules or whatever? I don't think anything's gonna happen.
He's not even,
Trump
you don't,
at this
you don't even think
point.
there's going to be like a
Whenever
What could you even do?
Whenever
What could you even do?
somebody asks him about a major issue, he gives some form of that answer. Oh, yeah, we need to do something about it. Something needs to happen quick. Fuck him.
You're president. You can do something.
I think likely what's going to happen is that this is going to
I
fade
really
into
hope
nothing.
he doesn't do something because I feel like
No.
whatever his solution to this problem is would be just horrible.
Well,
The
So-
truth is, Trump's at a point where he can't access this fucking information quick enough. He can't hold as many big issues as there are in the world, so he vamps his way through these fucking meetings with the press and just spouts whatever fucking pops into his big old empty liver-spotted dome. oh yeah, we need to do something about that. It's a blow to the because I saw a homeless guy laying in the fucking lobby of a fucking jewelry store the other day, and we can't have the prestige. And then he gets on Air Force One and takes his dumb ass down the road to say something else stupid. We're caught in the cycle of this shit.
The Trump cycle.
Well, we all know there's not going to do anything about it. I mean, look, there's more and more homeless people. There's no simple solution. There's no, hey, just give X, do X, Y, or Z. There's no one has any ideas how to deal with homelessness. It's just basically a cobbled together, private, kind of response to it, and it's obviously woefully inadequate. And Trump is not going to change that. What is Trump going to do about this? He's going to spend money on a bunch of poor people? I don't think so.
Cannabis industry calls for legalization and regulation to snuff out underground vapes.
100% agree.
The recent rash of vaping-related illnesses and deaths could represent a crisis.
Wait a minute.
What?
7 is a rash now?
Yep.
Oh, a rash.
A rash.
Could represent a crisis for the legal cannabis industry, which relies on vaping for an estimated quarter of its business in some states. But some people in the industry believe the problem could also represent an opportunity to both help people and push toward wider legalization in the United States. On Wednesday, the National Cannabis Industry Association, NCIA, put out a call to Congress to deal with vaping-related illnesses, legalize cannabis, and regulate us. Cannabis status as a federally illegal substance fuels illicit products, hinders research, and limits the ability to develop consistent regulations. The head of the Cannabis Trade Association said Wednesday, these unfortunate illnesses and deaths are yet another terrible and largely avoidable consequence of failed prohibition policies. Aaron Smith, the NCIA's executive director, said in a statement. So what do you guys make of this? Where I'm standing is I 100% agree with the NCIA on this one, which I've never heard of that organization.
I can't see how you would.
Yeah, I don't see how you could really, I don't really know the full story behind these 7 mysterious vaping illness deaths, and I know that there's 100 or so people who are just suffering.
More. If you go down, I think there's been 450 deaths overall.
I've only heard of 7. Now, the number I've heard touted is 7.
Well, maybe that's go back to the article.
Yeah, okay.
I saw the number 450 used a bunch of.
Here we go.
Let's see.
What we got?
About more than 4. Oh, have been sickened. Okay.
More than 450 people have been sickened, and 6 people have died. Another person has died since this article was published, so it's now up to 7.
Okay, so 7 deaths. And
according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
How many people are sickened by cigarettes every day?
More than 450. By the way, there's another article. I didn't pull it, but it was basically because of the crackdown on vaping, a lot of people have started turning shock and awe to cigarettes.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yep. So
we missed you.
I've even heard people speculate that maybe the tobacco industry is in some way behind this stuff. I think that's probably a little bit on the conspiratorial side, but
this is a separate fucking issue. Mm-hmm. This is almost all of these deaths that have happened are traced to these bootleg cannabis cartridges.
Yeah,
correct.
But the legislation that's been proposed by the Trump lump covers vaping and talks about how we need to protect kids from Juuls and shit.
Yep.
Right.
Which that's going to be the
I don't think
casualty
anybody who's died has been smoking a Juul or any of the fucking legal.
No.
I'm pretty sure that they've all died doing illicit bootleg shit. So that's kind of the point.
I haven't looked at the facts and figures, but what remains though is the fact that now they're trying to. I think you see these stories because they really strongly want to regulate vaping, and I think there's been a huge increase.
Well, it sounds like the industry is actually regulate us.
Well, the cannabis industry has been fine with that. I think it's really obviously companies like Juul and these other companies that make these products, and obviously the vapors that just make their own solutions or whatever.
I'm fine with putting regulations in place to make sure that everything's safe and shit.
I have.
Well, yeah, of course.
I was handed a Juul by Zandalar Cryptoduceus Esquire. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Good job, TJ.
Yay. So I got a Juul here. I don't know what flavor is this? Menthol.
It's a menthol Juul.
Oh, now you're addicted, dude. You're done. Do you feel worse?
It's kind of nice, actually.
TJ wants a Juul now.
I've heard anecdotal bad things about Juuls and these other vaping systems, but most people just discontinue use of them.
It's for a little tiny USB drive looking motherfucker. It packs a fucking punch. I'll give it that.
There you go.
Oh shit! I think I'm dying.
You're dead, dude.
Oh,
vaping-related illness.
I'm okay. So I'm gonna read one more quote before we go on. You guys can react to this. It's kind of along the same lines, but let's just take a look real quick. We are still in the bathtub gin era with cannabis, where there are a whole lot of people without access to legal cannabis, and people who are not in the regulated market take advantage of this, and people who are new to the market take advantage of this.
Naturally.
Said A.C. Braddock, CEO of Seattle-based Eden Labs, a 25-year-old manufacturer of equipment that extracts plant oils. So I'm pretty much in agreement with this. Right now, we're basically in this weird quasi-prohibition era. Obviously, marijuana was illegal for a super long time. Now it's kind of like half the states, there's like
More than half.
There's like half the states. It's either more than half the states is either legal or it's medicinally legal, or there's some gateway to get it legally, and then we still have some prohibition states, mostly here in the South. So it's like we're in this weird, no man's land where no one's quite sure how it's going to go. I think most of us probably think that we're heading towards national
we have a
legalization.
patchwork
It's just like
of competing
someone
regulations.
just fucking do it.
Well, and it's so strange because, in this state, oh my God, it's so bad and illegal. But then if you go to fucking Florida,
I mean, Trump with an executive order could fucking take it off Schedule 1, I think. I think that's how it works. I think I've heard the president has the power to just unilaterally do that.
well, actually, if you go over to Florida, TJ, medicinal over there, there's a lot of people that get medicinal cards. They have vape cartridges over there and shit. And Florida actually in the
Of course, there's
South,
all them old fucks want all the good drugs.
so Florida actually might become the first state, a southern state, to actually legalize weed. Now,
Dude.
it isn't more of a long shot.
That makes Orlando all the better fucking vacation destination, in my opinion.
We need a federal law. That's the fucking problem here. Look, these state
That's all
laws.
it'll take. Just blanket federal fucking regulation
Someone
of the
needs to
whole
do it.
industry and just mass
If
fucking
Trump doesn't have the balls to
legalization.
do it, then one of these Democratic candidates running needs to do it. Somebody needs to do it.
Do
Let's
you
just
do you
end
go to
this.
each one of these prohibition states and tell them you can't make this illegal anymore? You can't prohibit this.
Yeah, just this is illegal nationwide.
You have to
I
allow
mean, states
people
can-
to start businesses here and sell this. It's
States can
legal
still, it's just like alcohol. Alcohol is legal nationwide. States and counties and stuff can still do their own stupid
They just got to have
bullshit.
in Utah, they got to have a government
Right.
store if they want to ban
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
the
so
government weed store.
Certain states
Fine.
can still stamp their feet and go, but, make it legal. Legalize
Government
that
weed
shit.
store. I'm fine with that. I'll go get some government weed.
Give me some G13,
I love
please.
that, dude. Yeah.
Give me some government weed and some government cheese while you're at it.
Government weed, government cheese. Authorities release little information about transgender woman burned beyond recognition despite public outcry. She would never harm anyone, never put anyone in harm's way. How could someone go to that extreme to get rid of her? B. Love Slater's best friend said after her body was discovered earlier this month. So this is the woman in question. Authorities have released little information about the death of a Florida transgender woman found in her car burned beyond recognition, despite a public outcry for more information in the case. The body of 23-year-old B. Love Slater was found September 4th inside her charred car in Clewiston, Florida. Shortly after, she sent her best friend text messages saying she was worried about her safety, according to local station Wink, W-I-N-K. Slater allegedly told her best friend, Kennard Wade, that she planned to get out of town, but the 23-year-old would never get the opportunity and was later found burned so severely authorities had to use dental records to positively identify the body. Wade called Slater a sweetheart who didn't deserve the fate she received. I don't think anyone really deserves to be burned alive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Call me a bleeding heart.
Sweetheart or no.
Yeah, I don't care. You could be the biggest piece of shit ever. I don't think you should be burned alive. Or at least even, whatever. She probably wasn't alive when she was burned, but who knows?
What about Hitler, TJ?
No, not even him. She would never harm anyone, never put anyone in harm's
Hitler
way.
supporter.
I love Hitler. He's great. Blah, 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 blah. So this is obviously fucked up, and this is not super uncommon. A lot of these murders of transgender women tend to happen in the black community, which I think is something that gets, is not talked about as much. Once again, just like how the black community was more virulently homophobic than the white community for a long time, to the point where actually the black vote prevented gay marriage from happening in California earlier than it did.
Funded by
There
Mormons,
also
too.
seems to be a lot more of a problem in the black community with transgender people and beating of transgender people and murder of transgender people.
You're racist.
And it's like,
Racist.
we're not allowed to talk about it because this stupid idea of intersectional fucking, not even intersectional feminism, but just intersectional whateverism is that, especially me as a white person, us as white people, we can't fucking talk about the fact that this community, the black community, is behind the fucking times on this
You are
shit.
a systemic oppressor, TJ.
Well,
How
the
dare
black.
you.
It sounds to me like they're the ones who are being systemic oppressors in this fucking instance.
I think that the answer is in something that you and I used to cover a lot back in the early days. Mm-hmm. I think it has almost everything to do with the heightened religiosity of the black population. Mm-hmm. They tend to be more religious than other, at least the white population is. And as such, it's a bigger taboo against God to go cut your dick off and make it a pussy or whatever.
I mean, also you could look at it too. I mean, not only that, just the fact that someone could enter a relationship believing they're with, this person's a woman. And
I've heard. And
in their mind, they're not.
Right.
They're not. And then they find out that they're transgender. Then it's like, no, I'm going to kill you.
It's like a rage kill or something.
Yeah, because it
it makes them a fag.
Well, if everyone knows that, now it's like, if I don't do this action in my community, then people will think that I'm like this.
Right.
All right. So, update on the previous story that I just saw as breaking news over on CNBC. Apparently, CBS and Warner Media are dropping all e-cigarette advertising, including from market leader Juul.
Shit.
CBS and Warner Media said they will no longer run e-cigarette advertising. The decision comes days after Warner Media's CNN said it would no longer run ads for vaping products.
Doesn't matter.
Concerns about Juul's advertising in particular were raised last week in a letter sent by the FDA.
Look, the advertising for Juuls, I've seen it a bunch of times. It's bullshit. It's like targeted towards middle-aged people. Most people using Juuls are fucking teenagers. Let's just be honest. And they're going to keep doing this shit because their friends are doing it. And the people that influence them are doing it. So whether they have these advertisers going out or not, it's not going to make much of a difference in the amount of people that are fucking vaping.
I mean, this is the same shit that happened in the fucking 80s where, people thought it was going to stop teenagers from smoking, taking down these cartoon ads. And it's the same misguided, prohibitive nonsense.
Yeah, because the fucking Joe Camel is targeting kids.
Let me tell you something about kids, and this is just a fundamental fact, dude. They can't make their own money in most cases. And even if they can't live out on their own. So guess who's responsible to make sure they slap the Juul out of their stupid little peckerhead's mouth?
The government.
No.
Oh.
Mommy and daddy. It's mommy and daddy's job to make sure little Johnny doesn't go get a prostitute and a big handle of wine and 10 packs of cigarettes and 8 ounces of legal weed and stuff him up his ass and end up in the hospital overdosing on all that shit.
But Paul, what about the parents that don't give a shit about their kids?
Then they should be fucking punished right along with the kids.
No, there you go.
There you go.
Whole Foods to cut health care benefits for 1,900 part-time employees starting next year.
You know what's great? I read about this story that Jeff Bezos basically makes this in like 20 hours or something. The amount of money they're going to save.
Yep.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, the richest motherfucker probably to ever live.
One of them at least, certainly.
He's in the fucking running.
Just can't manage
He can't manage to pay for health benefits for 1,900 of his own fucking part-time employees.
Fuck them. Fuck the people that make me more money. Plebs.
Amazon owned Whole Foods will be withdrawing medical benefits for hundreds. No, not hundreds.
Thousands.
Over 1,000. So you could, I mean, I guess it's not thousands, but you could say over 1,000 or nearly 2,000 of its part-time workers starting January 1st, 2020, the company said Thursday. In the past, employees needed to work at least 20 hours a week to buy into the healthcare plan. Now they will need to work at least 30 hours. Less than 2% of its workforce, or 1,900 employees, will no longer be eligible for medical coverage under the new policy, the company said.
You notice how what is considered part-time work is creeping ever closer to the 40-hour work week?
39 and a half hours a week, part-time.
You know what I mean? Where do you draw the fucking line? See, this is what the late-stage capitalism right here. Just literally the richest corporation in the fucking world can't afford to pay these people's fucking health.
It's ridiculous. But not only that, they shouldn't even have to. These employees shouldn't even worry about health coverage because there should be universal health care in this country. So these people shouldn't be worried about losing benefits from Amazon.
Well, this is why the argument of keep your own plan, put a Band-Aid on the current system falls completely to pieces because it relies on these fucking corporations to make the right decision for you and not their wallet.
And why would they do that? That makes no sense. Why would someone work against their own interests?
Well, everything in the fucking corporate drive, everything in the capitalistic system is based around profit margins.
100%.
Paying less and making more. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you leave it up to the fucking free market to decide. That's what you get when you're languishing for years and years while most of the first world has universal health care. You get shit like this where suddenly fucking 2% of Amazon's workforce is going to be looking for health care on the open market.
Yeah, right.
And they're fucked, dude. Look, these people don't make enough money to go afford the insane fucking cost of coverage. They're fucked. These 2% of people are going to have jobs and they're just be fucked. So it's either work more for this company or just don't have health insurance.
Sold my soul to the company store.
I mean, maybe, like, let's look at this from the other side. Maybe if Amazon didn't pay such extraordinary amounts of taxes every year, they could afford to give health care.
You know, because they pay, you know, like that tax bill that we burden them with. Oh, yeah, they paid nothing.
That's
They paid
$0.
They paid nothing. They paid nothing.
So they pay nothing into the system that is there to fucking make sure that people don't fall through the cracks.
Hey, we
and
pay
get
local
medical care.
taxes and state taxes.
And we write off this and we write off that. And
So
we
at
move
the end of the
money
day,
around.
we actually win. I mean, well, that's too bad. You know what's funny? When you buy something from Amazon, you have to pay tax.
Of course.
When you get a fucking paycheck, you have to pay tax. But if you're Amazon, you just somehow, just do some math, offshoring.
Whoopsie-daisy.
Oh, the money's in the Netherlands, the money's here. Oh,
and there's a bunch of retards wearing hats that look just like this that think that that's a good system.
Amazon good.
Amazon good.
Yeah, a company that
Amazon
squeezes
good.
its employees
Well,
fucking
actually,
dry.
at least they're a little bit more skeptical of Amazon because Trump has said a few negative things about Amazon. But big business in general, they just love it. Lap it up.
Well, they find themselves in
Can't
an
give a
awkward
dick of
position
big
then.
business fucking deep enough into their assholes.
Oh, it'll get deep enough eventually. The problem is by the time it gets there, it's going to be far too fucking late.
Yeah, by that time, you're just impaled on it like a fucking victim of Vlad.
You know
the
what my
Impaler.
favorite argument against regulating these things is you'll see
It'll
the people say,
de-incentivize the fucking
they'll
rich
move.
people.
They'll go overseas if you burden them with taxes.
Where the fuck are they gonna go?
I don't even care. My answer to them is always let them go. Make room in this country for people who are willing to reinvest in the country that allows them to be multi-billionaires.
Exactly.
And let the
100%.
vampires go over to fucking China or Russia or wherever else they want to fucking set up and
be
see how that
vampires.
works out for them. Let them suck some other country dry. Why are we all pretending like we got a fucking gun to our head with the thought of Amazon or Google moving overseas? Fuck them. Let them. And put a hefty fucking tariff on any company what does so. Good luck selling your Google phone to the Chinese market. Bye. Anybody else want to step up and fill the fucking hole? I bet there's an entrepreneur that would. I bet there's a billion of them.
Texas state representative tweets at Beto O'Rourke, "My AR-15 is ready for you. Ready."
Try to take my gun, TJ.
A Texas state representative representative's tweet to Beto O'Rourke that his AR-15 is ready for you has been removed by Twitter.
Freedom of speech.
The social media giant concluded it broke the site's rules when it came to threats and violence, a Twitter spokesman told CBS News. Briscoe fucking Kane.
You
dude.
damn right,
God.
boy.
I'm Briscoe Kane, who represents a district west of Houston, tweeted at O'Rourke during the third Democratic presidential debate in Houston. O'Rourke has endorsed a mandatory buyback plan for assault weapons in the wake of the shooting in his hometown of El Paso that killed 22 people. If the high-impact, high-velocity round, when it hits your body, shreds everything inside your body because it was designed to do that, so that you would bleed to death on a battlefield and not be able to get up and kill one more of our soldiers, whatever the fuck. When we see that being used against children and in Odessa, Texas, blah, 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 blah. I met the mother of a 15-year-old girl who was shot by an AR-15, and that mother watched her bleed to death over the course of an hour because so many other people were shot by that AR-15 in Odessa and Midland. There weren't enough ambulances to get to them in time. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. And anyway, so this Briscoe Kane is like, we ready. Come try to take it. And I always love it, and I got to point it out every fucking chance that I goddamn get. Gun people, the people who say you can't take our guns or you shouldn't take our guns because we're not violent, are literally the only people in America who can get away with this bullshit fucking idea that if you don't fucking do what I want politically, I'm going to use violence.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
I
No
guess
other
they're-
fucking group of people can be like, if you don't, like, you know, if it was like anybody who fucking opposes abortion rights, we'll just kill them. It'd be fucking like national goddamn news, like fucking violent rhetoric from the pro-choice people, violent rhetoric from this group or that group.
Because violence
but
is
gun
so
nuts,
inherent to what they're advocating for.
right? But the other side of the coin is don't regulate us because we're just law-abiding citizens.
Right.
We're good law-abiding citizens. If you're good law-abiding citizens, then if a law is passed that says you can't have an AR-15, you would relinquish it with a smile on your fucking face.
Bullshit, TJ, because we got something in this country called the Constitution of the United States, TJ, Second Amendment. You know how that Second Amendment goes, TJ?
How's it go, Scotty?
The Second Amendment goes, TJ, well, I don't have the exact text in front of me, but I'll fucking
Guns.
paraphrase. I'll paraphrase it for you.
Paraphrase that shit
From
good.
my cold, dead fucking hands, bitch.
Sounds right to me. That's
I
remember it.
I'm not even on O'Rourke's side on this one. I don't believe in this mandatory buyback. I think it would be a giant clusterfuck. I don't think it's going to change anything. I think that, you know, people who want to do mass murders are going to be able to fucking do it, whether you fucking have a mandatory AR-15
I don't
buyback
agree.
or not.
I gotta disagree. And
Go
let
ahead
me tell
and
you on
disagree.
so Adam Lanza.
Uh-huh.
I've talked about this on Ideology before.
Adam Lanza.
The Newtown shooter?
Newtown massacre shooter.
Yep.
Was he the one who killed his mom first?
Yes.
He's the one that killed his mom with
Okay.
her own gun, which
right.
wasn't secured
And
properly.
she was a cop, right?
I don't know
I
if
don't
she was
think
a cop.
she-
She
was
she
just
a
had
cop,
a gun.
or was
He
she
had
a-
I think he had a Bushmaster, like AR-15
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought she was law enforcement, or maybe I was.
I don't
maybe
remember.
the
I
whole
something
black
else.
market idea extends to some people.
Of course.
Adam Lanza is not going to be able to broker a black market gun deal.
Yeah.
No.
The reason that Adam Lanza and a lot of these mass shooters have done it is because there's such easy access to these weapons.
Yep.
None of the paper-thin requirements that are in place have to even be taken care of for them. They could just grab dad's gun and go on a spree with it. That needs to be addressed. And I
It's-
don't know how you address that while allowing people to just willy-nilly own these fucking things.
It's not going to be that hard to go. Even if you put a ban on AR-15s, AK-47s, there's still going to be so many in this fucking country, it's ridiculous. Maybe someone like Adam Lanza is not going to be able to broker that deal, but plenty of other fucking
Yeah.
gun people are going
What
to be
about
able
the
to do
fucking
it.
Joker shooter
He's still
guy?
going to be able to get a fucking
Like
handgun.
a lot of these
He's
people.
still be able to get a bunch of handguns. I mean, like, let's be real. He's
let's
still going to be
talk
able to go out
about-
there and get, like, a fucking handgun that you can easily reload that shoots fucking 15, 18 rounds. You know, he's not going to be deterred by that. It's still super easy to build a bomb. You can still go to fucking Home Depot and get bomb shit. It's still super
know.
easy to fucking rent a
Bomb-
U-Haul and run it into a crowd. It's still super easy to fucking go stab a bunch of people.
Well,
it's
he
just
couldn't
not
have- he
that
couldn't have
we're
rented a U-Haul.
fragile fucking people. We're not that fucking, you know, the human beings are fragile creatures. It's not that hard to kill a bunch of them if you're really fucking determined to do so.
But it's easier to kill a bunch of them with some implements than others.
sure.
And those implements that it is easy to take on a fucking spree and massacre a bunch of people with should be more heavily regulated and controlled than the ones that aren't. And I think that that bears true for all of the things that you're talking about. Bomb making is heavily pursued in this country.
But I mean, let's
Bomb
so let's
making,
talk
a lot
about
of bomb making
let's
materials
say
are heavily restricted.
how many
restricted
fucking
in
how many
this country.
AR-15s are in this country.
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know either.
I'm sure millions.
Probably millions of them.
So even if just like 0.5% of the gun nuts who have these things are sincere in their willingness to use violence to protect them, wouldn't it cause way more deaths to try to pull off a ban like that than it would prevent?
Cause way more deaths?
Yeah.
Banning the
If
further
yeah.
sale of these guns and grandfathering the ones that are already out
Well,
there?
that's not what Beto's talking
No, he's
about.
talking about
Beto's talking about
a
mandatory
mandatory-
buybacks.
Right. Fuck Beto. I'm just talking about the issue. But yeah, I understand. He's saying he wants to have a mandatory. But I'm not saying that I think that that's the solution that gets us to where I'm talking about.
Okay.
I just don't think it addresses it.
I mean, yeah, we definitely need more regulations on selling guns. And
I mean, I'm not against-
people having guns.
I'm not against more regulation, but I think a mandatory buyback where you say
That's
to
probably not
everybody
gonna
who
work.
owns it, you need to give it back. We're going to give you some money for it, but you need to give it back. It's just the
I mean,
law
maybe
now.
it's something that can be tried, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily
There's going to be a lot of.
universal.
I think there's going to be a lot of fucking psychos out there who go fucking nuts and start fucking mowing people down.
Well,
I mean, they
they've
kind of make
definitely
their own
been-
argument then. They kind of make the argument why they shouldn't have that weapon if they do
Right.
it.
But, you know, you have to still look at the practical aspect of, like, how do you get that from them without that happening?
the answer is
Probably gradually.
gun bans and mandatory buybacks and cracking down and trying to take people's guns at this point It just doesn't work here.
There's too many.
We've allowed the rhetoric for too long and the national consciousness for too long to be filled with this idea that the founding fathers of this country's most important principle was that Cletus Van Wilkinson could have himself a fucking whole stable filled with AR-15s and shit.
So let's talk about a thwarted mass shooting here. Brave Texas father helps thwart possible mass shooting by calling cops on his son. A possible mass shooting was thwarted in Texas after a concerned father called police on his son. Fort Worth officers were able to intercept a 27-year-old man with mental health issues who was searching for a gun. The incident occurred September 3rd, and police publicly released details about the incident Monday. It happened exactly 1 month after 22 people were gunned down at a Walmart about 600 miles away in El Paso, Texas. Fort Worth Police Department Public Information Officer Buddy Calzada told ABC News that the man, whose name is not being publicly released, was known to police. It was reported that he had withdrawn money and stated he was going to buy guns. Caldaza.
Wow.
Wait, is it Calzada as it said in that paragraph, or is it Caldaza as it says in this one?
Whatever.
Said of the man. Police reported that the man was turned down when he tried to buy guns at several local stores as a result of a background check. So
wonderful.
So there is some regulation in place there actually holding this motherfucker at bay. Members of the police department's crisis intervention team searched for the suspect and found him in West downtown Fort Worth with $600 to $700 in cash, and he stated he was there to buy a gun off the street. He made multiple statements to officers indicating he was going to harm many people and kill as many as he could. Not a right thing to say to the officers.
He's obviously insane.
So this dude's obviously completely unstable. But he's attempting to broker some kind of black market fucking shit. Obviously not successful, thankfully.
Which is kind of like makes the argument that I was just talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you just said.
But I wonder if his dad hadn't come forth and said, hey, my son's trying to get a fucking gun.
Well, that's another thing that Paul was actually talking about, was people being responsible and like that. If someone says to you credibly, like if I came in and was like, guys, I'm going to buy an AR-15 and blow a bunch of people away, hopefully you guys report me and don't just go, whatever.
Personal responsibility of a parent to fucking be aware of what their child is doing.
Yeah, and this is not a young child. This is a 27-year-old man.
Yeah, this is an adult.
Here's a fucking full-blown example of somebody who had every intention, by their own words, of killing as many people as possible, being denied guns because of background checks, which need to be universal and not selective. There needs to be no loopholes through that, including personal transfers of guns.
Gun shows.
You can't go and buy a gun legally and do all the paperwork and then decide, well, it's my property and I'm going to sell it to Billy Joe down the street for $200. No more of that.
Because right now, me and you, if there's a gun show in town, me and you, Paul, could go buy a gun, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
We go on Craigslist right now, go buy a gun, no problem. So,
I think that, honestly, most people, even after the legislation that I talk about with guns, would be able to do so.
Oh, I agree.
Standard background checks and a willingness to go through all the training programs and shit and relicense and make sure that my name is attached to the serial number of every gun that changes hands in my direction. Yeah. I think that the vast majority of all these people rednecking about this would still be able to go buy their fucking guns. They would just be held responsible for them after the fact.
So let's move on from the gun issue. Trump, this is one of my favorite stories of the week, by the way. Trump says energy-efficient light bulbs make him look orange. Complains about how expensive they are.
No, the ridiculous spray tan that you use to cover up the fact that you're gray and liver spotted is what makes you look orange.
Also, they're more expensive because they last much longer.
No.
And they're more energy efficient. And
by the way, Trump complaining about how expensive something is. Aren't you supposed to be so rich you don't even give a fuck?
He doesn't care about Mike Pence staying in Ireland and spending $600,000 on limousine rides, but these lights, too expensive.
After his administration rolled back Obama-era energy efficiency rules for light bulbs, President Donald Trump complained that the environmentally friendly lamps make him look orange because the light they emit is no good.
No good light.
Okay.
Terrible light.
So here's the weird thing. Here's what he said. I mean, no one else looks orange under these fucking light bulbs, Donald.
The fact that orange is at play here.
Yes.
Not everybody else. It's not a light bulb
Not the
problem.
Lights.
I look orange.
You are orange as fuck under any light source.
Goddamn son of a bitch, man.
I don't understand this.
I love this.
Like, the light bulb.
The light bulb.
Let's go back to the horse and carriage.
The light bulb. People said, what's with the light bulb? I said, here's the story. And I looked at it. The bulbs The bulb that we're being forced to use, number one to me. Most importantly, the light's no good. I always look orange, and so do you. The light is the worst. No, I don't.
I don't
No,
look
I
orange.
don't. I've not.
Nobody looks
I have
orange
never
except
looked
you.
orange under a goddamn modern-day light bulb.
Now, LEDs,
Nor has anyone else I've fucking
Well,
ever
if
seen.
you put the average person under an LED, TJ, suddenly they're fucking orange. Dude.
orange.
Like,
What?
am I looking at a carrot or a person? What's going on here?
Well, there are some people that look orange. Usually old people that use spray tans to try and hide the fact that they're going gray in the face.
What?
Or people that wear ridiculous amounts of too much makeup. Those are the types of people that look orange.
Yeah, because they're actually orange, though.
Yes,
That's
they've
the
pasted
thing.
orange
you have
shit
to
on
look,
their faces.
You have to actually be orange to look orange under the light
and
bulb.
you look orange as fuck.
orange.
TJ, please keep reading this. It just gets better and better, dude.
But number two, I'm sorry my fucking Trump sounds exactly like my Bernie,
sounds
but
like
that's how
me.
it is. It's many times more expensive than the old incandescent bulb that worked very well. And very importantly, I don't know if you know this, they have warnings. If it breaks, it's considered a hazardous waste site. It's gases inside.
Oh my God.
talking about CFLs.
This is the guy that definitely didn't say nuke the hurricanes, by the way.
And read what they say. If it breaks, bring it to your local whatever.
What's a local
Have it
whatever?
wrapped. Have it this. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Sounds like a rambling old man.
It is a rambling old man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It doesn't sound like it. It is.
And then the hippity hop. I turn on the radio and I can't even. Well, this isn't music. Where's the guitars? Where's the singing?
And I said to one of the top people today, well, they break a lot, don't they? Yes, they do. They just throw them away. They don't care.
Wow.
What the fuck are you rambling
Trump-
about, you fucking psycho?
Trump is actually an environmentalist, TJ. You didn't realize it till now.
Dude, this is exactly something that a dictator would do. Ban the types of light bulbs that he thinks make him look orange, rather than owning up to the fact that the reason people say he looks orange is because he's orange.
It's like his does this make me look fat moment? Does this make me look orange?
This is the
I look
business that
orange.
Trump is about. Stepping us fucking 20
Does this
or
extra
30
80
years.
pounds on my body make me look fat?
Yes.
Yeah, let's undo 30 years of light efficiency technology because I look too orange. That's basically what's been proposed
Paul, there's
here.
gases in them. There's gases. They're gonna kill you. Take it to your local whatever. Do
Dude,
whatever. With
I
it.
tell you what, let's just give him his way and hasten the end. Yeah, let's step back 50 years worth of technology. Let's nuke the hurricanes as they happen. Let's do it. Call the bluff of the MAGA people. Let's do it. Give him what he wants.
Dude, me and TJ actually at one point had a fridge that was made in the 1950s. Let me tell you something about technology then. Energy fucking hogs. Like our power bill, because we like,
Of course.
it went through the fucking roof. It wasn't efficient at all. It's like people talk about this shit like it used to. It was built better then. It's like it was way less energy efficient. We don't need that kind of fucking shit anymore. We don't fucking
It's
need
like,
it.
let's go back to the wasteful times right at the time
Yeah.
we should be conserving everything we
Exactly.
fucking can.
Pittsburgh doctor claims Antonio Brown repeatedly farted in his face. Owes him
Hey,
$11,500.
TJ, you also owe me $11,500.
Okay.
You have farted in my face enough that I feel I'm owed
TJ,
that.
can you play this news story so I can hear this guy talk about this guy farting?
Face farting?
Yeah, I have to hear this. I have to. It's muted.
Illustrated reports.
All right, hold on. Let's go back.
Antonio Brown.
Go back.
A second
shitty
woman is now
player.
accusing Antonio Brown of sexual misconduct.
Oh,
Sports
shit.
Illustrated
Farting.
reports
Never
that
mind.
an artist.
This is just
They-
him being accused of sexual
Clickbait.
assault.
No one cares about that.
Whose face did he fart in?
A Pittsburgh area doctor is the latest to file lawsuit against former Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown. Monroeville's Dr. Victor Prisk. Jesus.
Wow, sounds like a Batman
That sounds
villain.
like someone you should fart on,
Dr.
honestly.
Mr. Prisk, TJ.
Fuck you, Dr. Prisk.
Fuck you, TJ.
Has filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania claiming that Brown owes him more than $11,500 in unpaid fees. Not only that, according to the New York Post, Dr. Prisk claims Brown repeatedly farted in his face and
He
laughed about
farted.
it during a consultation where he showed up 3 hours late.
Wow.
Dr. Prisk said he was wary of signing Brown because of his flighty reputation for not paying his bills, Sports Illustrated reported. TMZ even obtained video of the appointment in August of 2018 where Brown can be heard farting and laughing. Wait, there's video? There's video
Whoa,
of the
click-
fart?
Dude, click that link, dude. Is there actually a video?
He's got videos.
Oh, dude, okay, cool.
Fuck.
Just skip that part of it. Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, he is farting right on him.
Where's the fart?
Fart. Fart.
It's pretty freaking low. Depends on bodybuilders. This is pretty freaking low.
What?
Okay. So this at least backs up the story a little bit.
Yeah.
God
so
damn, that's like a protein fart there. Come on, TJ.
He got a
you
little farty.
farted in my face.
You got a little
A Pittsburgh
gassy.
doctor is the latest.
I love a fart.
It seemed just childish to me, Prisk told Sports
It is.
Illustrated. I'm a doctor, and this man is farting in my
That's what
face.
makes it hilarious.
I'm a doctor.
I didn't fart in your face. You farted near your face.
Yeah.
I'm all for this. I don't even know who Antonio Brown is. I don't sanction anything else he's done, but goddamn, this farting thing is great. I think you should make it his thing.
You know what?
Fart on a dude after you tackle him. Fart on a dude after you fucking score a.
And he didn't pay his bill either. You gotta give him that. He's a fucking multimillionaire. He didn't pay his fucking bill.
Dude, this guy is what fucking pro football needs.
Make America great again.
Yeah, make America farty again. Let's get farts back into the national
So,
conversation.
Paul, I pulled this one because you were talking a
is
lot.
it about farts?
No. Sorry, Paul. I pulled this one because you were talking. You had a nice little rant on Twitter, I think, the other day, and I think you talked about it here on one of our shows too. About this can't-do attitude.
Oh, yeah.
That's taken over America.
Yep.
Can't
And
do
I just
it.
wanted to further shame America by pointing out that as we bicker and dither about climate change bullshit, India has reached its solar power target 4 years ahead of schedule and is setting a new goal for 2022.
Wow. India's getting its shit together quicker than we are.
Yes. India has achieved its solar power target 4 years ahead of its schedule as part of its climate change mitigation strategy, a senior official of the central government's Department of Science and Technology said here on Tuesday. The target of installing 20 GW of solar power
1.21 gigawatts. TJ.
gigawatts by 2020 was achieved 4 years ahead of schedule in January 2018. Advisor and head of climate change program of the Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Akhilesh Gupta said.
So, yeah. So, India getting with the fucking program over here.
And now they're trying to get to 100 gigawatts of solar power by 2022.
Well, it looks like they can do it.
You know what though? Their freedom's dying over there.
Yeah.
Have to have these solar panels.
Everyone looks orange
look,
now.
Look, those TD. I'm gonna tell you some of these solar panels. They're gonna be expensive to maintain. And who knows if it? Look, TD, if there ain't no sun, how's it gonna work? You
What-
tell me that. You
what
tell me
if
that.
what if the pollution from our cities blots out their sun?
huh.
They
Didn't
gonna
think
wish
about
they
that,
had
did ya?
coal.
Didn't think about that shit, did ya, India? So, yeah, I just like how other countries are setting goals and meeting them while
Well,
we just meanwhile,
Together about.
It's a
we're a
good
bunch
thing.
of idiots who we have the highest proportion of climate deniers
It's a good thing for India.
in 28 countries surveyed.
Well,
But
I mean, it's
I hope they're
essential for
building.
India.
I hope they're building that shit inland. Let's just put it that way. I hope they're not building any of that on the coast.
Hey, and another thing about that too is unfortunately it's in that article. You didn't read it. That India is one of the countries in the world that's gonna be most affected by climate change. So,
Oops.
I mean, they're doing their part. It seems, or at least trying to do something. And
So, yeah,
doesn't look
it's
good.
amazing that people in other countries actually react to problems that happen. It's kinda
It
weird.
is.
A majority of people across the world think climate change is happening and humans are at least partly responsible, according to a study from YouGov released
Makes
on
sense.
Monday. But 15% of Americans still hold views that contradict the scientific consensus that climate change is occurring and is being driven by human behavior.
Yeah,
6%
they're
of
idiots.
American respondents denied the climate is changing, while an
Morons.
additional 9% said the climate is changing, but human activity is not at all responsible.
Of course.
Americans surveyed held these denialist views more than people in the 27 other countries included in the study. Saudi Arabia had the next highest proportion of respondents who held views that contradict
There's a
climate
shocker.
science.
We beat Saudi Arabia in climate change deniers.
Yep.
Really?
We're-
Okay.
We're the
Okay.
only country in the survey dumber than Saudi Arabia.
You've got to be. I mean, look. How much fucking lower does our country need to sink where Saudi Arabia is more progressive?
Well,
on
hell,
climate
Saudi
change?
Arabia calls the shots of what wars we're going to go into now, apparently. So I guess we're listening to our fucking
But when it
betters
comes to
on that
climate
one.
change, they're actually more progressive than us.
You know what the great part about these numbers is that they'd be even higher if you took into account people that don't deny it but aren't willing to sacrifice any fucking lifestyle or comfort to change it.
Oh, a ton.
Yeah, then it'd be like 99% or
that's
something.
that's the real problem. is that more and more people are not able to deny that it's changing because the numbers just are so fucking glaringly obvious. And now it's just like, well, yeah, it's changing, but I don't want to give up my plastic.
So I
I
know.
want to give up my gas fucking truck.
We live right now in one of the states that's going to be most affected by the climate change. Our coast is already eroded because of climate
Much of
change
it's
and
already
changing
below
sea
sea
levels.
Dude,
level.
go look up the map of
So-
look up a climate change map of Louisiana for 2050, 2060.
Okay.
Go look that shit up, dude. It's fucking insane. This state and the people all living where we are right now would be under fucking water.
Nice.
Louisiana.
This won't fucking exist anymore. It simply will not fucking exist. When they have that bad fucking there's like a huge fucking amount of like rain. There's like a storm that a couple years ago that caused massive flooding in this area.
Yeah.
The state was basically cut in half. You ever the stories about the Cajun Navy where the people go and rescuing people because the rivers overflowed so much the state was really cut in half.
Right.
We're under fucking water.
And
It's
as
gonna
sea
happen.
levels continue to rise, that's just, you can imagine.
Yeah, it's just gonna get fucking worse and worse. Like I think it's like south of I-12, I-10. It's just gonna be gone. not even gonna fucking exist, dude. Not even gonna fucking exist.
And there's no plan in place to fucking mitigate this.
I mean,
anyway.
in Louisiana, they're trying
Well-
some measures, but it's
I can't find what you're talking about, but here's something I think. Let me see if it'll fucking ever open. This fucking PDF is opening slow as shit.
just put in like climate change effect map.
All right, so here's one.
USA.
Here's one.
So here you go here.
So like obviously like the boot has athlete's foot at this point.
yeah.
I don't know what year this is supposed to be by or whatever. But
So
here's-
what does red represent? The land that's gonna be.
That's 0 to 5 feet below sea
Yeah.
level.
There you go.
So this is just like all
Or
this is fucked.
above-
Our area is
0 to
fucked.
5 feet
all
above.
this like the entire southern part of the state is just like pretty fucked.
It's Gorn.
The map of Louisiana already doesn't look like what it looks like on the map because a lot of this stuff that we still think of as being above water is not anymore.
No.
But here's the thing. In Louisiana, because of the effects of this shit, the citizens of this state actually pretty much believe in climate change. Like huge, to a huge degree. Not only, like I think it's like 61% of people very affirmatively like climate change is real. Human beings are completely responsible for it.
Just look
whatever.
what's happening.
And then I'm sure another huge chunk, believe humans are at least partially responsible for it. But of the three men, I think, maybe there's a woman, I don't know. There's the three people running for governor. Not a single one of them believes in climate change. They just are totally climate change denialists.
Because that's
There's
the
no-
corporate.
yeah,
that's the
there's-
corporate line.
There's no option for like, oh, this person actually fucking recognizes climate change as a problem.
Oh yeah. Actually remember like it was me, you, and Taylor were eating at Longhorn, and that John Bel Edwards, Democrat who's running for governor here, texted them and said, "What issues are important to you?" And Taylor was like, "Marijuana legalization." And they're like, "Okay, it doesn't really apply to the criminal justice system because they're talking about criminal justice reform." She's like, "Yeah, it does. Expunge all marijuana conviction records from anyone in the state." These people are not talking about this. They're talking about creating jobs in Louisiana. And Louisiana is literally half of it's under fucking water.
Job creation.
Yeah, but where's that job going to be? Fucking ferrying people back
You
to
can
the
roll the
island?
P-row.
Repurposing the marshland, tearing down all of the
All right,
structures. and
enough of
making-
this bullshit liberal nonsense, y'all.
Oh, yeah?
It's time to learn some real knowledge.
Oh, God.
All right.
I prayed for all our presidents.
Yes, sir.
Listen up close.
Some of them have asked me to pray with them. This one asked me to pray with him, travel with him. My wife. He asked us to surround him with prayer. Pray for him to be surrounded with wisdom. Tell him about people who are wise. I think that's an answer to prayer. I believe every positive thing that's happening. And I would look Donald Trump, the cabinet, and the Congress straight in the eyes, and I'd say, every great and positive thing that is happening today is happening as an answer to prayers of committed, sold-out people God often refers to as the remnant. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear and a desire to do the will of the Father and see his blessings on everyone. I believe the positive things that are happening are an answer to prayer. And I believe the willingness for this man to stand up against all the assault and keep trying to do what he believes is best is a miracle of God.
Trump is a
I
fucking
personally believe
miracle.
all the good things in the world are actually caused by dragons. So I have to disagree with this guy.
I think they're caused by Antonio Brown's farts.
That's another valid possibility.
Every time Antonio Brown farts, an angel gets its wings.
Another angel there.
It certainly made me laugh more joyously and gleefully than anything else this week so far. So you got to get, dude, farts don't
What
get
are
their
all
due.
these good things that we're supposed to be crediting to prayer exactly?
Well, Christians think very, like, insularly, so they look at good things in their own lives and think that means good things in the long run. So they think, like, oh, I got that job, so that was prayer. Or I got that child support payment that I've been waiting for, and that was prayer what done that, not the dude that sent the check.
or
or the
Trump,
government that made him.
Yeah, Trump won the election. That was prayer.
Right.
We're protecting the lives of the unborn. That's prayer.
Prayer.
Yeah.
And I believe if we keep praying, he will hear and he will have people sitting in front of him who will so speak the truth with conviction, convincingly, and with wisdom. And I believe he will respond. We pray. And I think listen to me, I think we can witness the greatest spiritual awakening in history. And one of the least likely people, many of you would say, will be used by God to accomplish God's will
Any more
for the
vague
blessing and
predictions?
benefit of this nation.
Yeah, let me tell you what God's going to accomplish. God's going to accomplish stupid people that believe in stupid shit like psychic communication with gods, creating actual events, are going to send you money, and you're going to continue to be able to fly on a private jet wherever you go and buy whatever you want. And that's the net end result of that transaction. Literally nothing could be further from the truth. Everything that happens because people thought about it real hard and wished for it real hard.
I really wish that I had $1 million right now.
Dear God, please bring back the double-decker taco. Please, Jesus, God, Lord Jesus,
Keep
God,
your prayer
please.
book, TJ, so God will either answer your prayer,
Yeah.
he'll say yes or no.
God
TJ.
is great.
Or-
God is good.
Or you know what?
Let him bring back
or
my
shake the
low-rent
magic
food.
8-ball again.
Bring
Come
back
on,
the
dude.
double-decker taco.
If you
Hey,
want
just wish real hard,
If you
TJ,
want to do
it'll
that,
happen.
just shake a magic 8-ball.
Maybe
I
I
mean,
will.
Come on.
Maybe I will.
Thoughts and praise.
Prairies?
Prairies.
Thoughts and praise,
Thoughts
dude.
and little prairies.
Oh, praise.
Yeah, thoughts and praise.
Praise.
I like thoughts and
I
prairies.
send my
Hey,
thoughts. I
Paul.
send my praise.
Paul.
What?
Paul.
What?
Paul.
Yes.
How's that? How's your depression going, Paul?
How's my depression going?
Yeah, how's your depression going?
Pretty. It's a struggle, TJ.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I got to dog paddle as hard as I can just to keep my fat bloated ass above water. How about you? How you doing, TJ?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Doing
Fuck
great.
you then.
Doing great.
Eat a dick.
It's like when you're dog paddling, I'm just like I'm on the lazy river,
Yeah.
just like chilling.
You're
on my
sitting on
inner
a
tubes.
raft getting a sunburn with a pina colada in your
Yep.
lap.
If you're not paying your
He's
colada,
floating by while like, hey,
help me!
please.
Getting caught in the rain.
How you doing, Paul? Having a good time. See you later.
Well, Jesse Lee Peterson has some words for you, Paul.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy.
Thank
Remember
goodness.
this guy?
I love Jesse
so
Lee
that-
Peterson.
No, no problem.
A true Christian is never depressed or have suicidal thoughts. You have those when
weak.
you're not Christians.
Why do so many self-professed
And-
Christians commit suicide then?
They weren't
Oh, they're
real
not
Christian-
real.
not real
No
Fake
true Christian
So I was
ever
thinking, how
commit
can
suicide.
he be a man of God and take his own life due to depression or suicidal thoughts or the crap like that, right?
Grump.
Then I realized after the show yesterday, the reason for that is that there are Christians who believe that you can be born again of God but still sin. And anyone who sin are subject and they are slaves
Man, that poor pop filter just can't even handle the fucking.
to those things, right? And so if you are, you still sin and call yourself
How the fuck does this guy talk for a living?
I don't know.
It's fucking insane to me.
I don't know, dude.
Like, who the fuck watches this shit, listens to this shit? Like, even if you agree with the nonsense spilling out of his mouth, which you must be a fucking retard yourself to do so, but even if you do,
Maybe it's
Couldn't you possibly find someone a little bit marginally more articulate and
You know what,
dynamic to
TJ?
possibly
Maybe
deliver the
it's-
message?
Maybe it's the Tardcast, dude.
Maybe it's exactly the lack of those things that people reach out to, TJ.
Yeah, maybe.
They want their stupid proclamations mushmouth variety.
Plain spoken,
And a woman
TJ.
of God, you're a liar. The truth is not in you. Christ came that you should not sin once
Yeah.
you're born again, right? Because sin is of your father, the devil. And so, one of the reasons that you're seeing all these Christians who are depressed and suicidal thoughts and committed suicide and
They're not just
living
they're just not
like the
Christianing
world,
hard enough.
it's because they're still of the world. Satan
yeah.
is still their daddy.
They're just not
even though they
Christianing
claim
hard enough.
to be.
Who's your daddy, bitch? Satan! Oh, it's Satan!
Yep. If you just stop causing your own depression,
Stop being depressed. Think
Yeah.
positive thoughts, Paul. Go for a brisk walk.
it's sin. It's sin that makes depression.
The wages of sin is death.
Well, there you go.
Satan's just still your daddy, Paul. You might think you a good Christian, but Satan is still your daddy.
You're a Christian.
Christian.
Satan is their daddy. And that's why they're living, acting, thinking, and feeling just like the children of the lie. Nothing really changed. Because Christ came that when God sent Christ, that you may have perfect peace on earth. And that if anyone sinned and says that he or she is of God, born again of God, they're a liar, and the truth is not in them. For this reason Christ came, that you might not sin. And when you don't sin, folks, you're
Is
not.
this the fantasy hour? You just make proclamations.
still,
Jesus then came and all. Let me make a bunch of proclamations. I can't prove any of this shit, by the way. So I'm just talking out of my ass, talking the same Christian nonsense.
It's just
Come
bibble
on.
babble. My fucking brain turns off when I hear it now because it's just so devoid of any reality, any
It is.
fucking meaning. It's just like it's literally the no true Scotsman's fallacy dragged out over a fucking 20-minute mushed mouth,
Yeah, I don't need
barely
it.
intelligible bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean?
It's painful to listen to. And I mean, if you take it even at its face value and try to dissect it and look at it and say, okay, everything he's saying, there's no evidence to believe any of what he's saying. There's no evidence that God exists. No evidence that Jesus exists. It's like, come on, dude. You're just living in a fantasy world. You're just making proclamations based on a fucking narrative and worldview that you're selling to people as part of the
Well,
show.
the people that follow him are living in a fantasy world. He's living in the fantasy world of being able to say literally the stupidest thing I've heard in a month and make money doing it.
Yeah, he does. There's no denying that.
That's the fantasy world that he occupies. It's a distinctly different one than the people that follow him. I can't even imagine who would or why.
They certainly do.
Because even amongst like stupid, empty-headed, bubble-headed religious hucksters, there are people that are way better, you know, and way more
TJ, didn't,
entertaining to listen to.
Didn't your buddy Kyle Kalinske debate him? Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah.
I use the term debate very loosely.
Well, yes. I mean, of course.
'Cause,
Granted.
yeah.
But, I mean, it was presented as a debate.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, it was pretty much a slaughter. He
I'd
called it-
imagine that.
He called him a beta.
Bear.
That was his big moment.
I
was
remember
he's
that.
like,
Yeah, you're bear.
Made a man.
Are you a meta? Are you a meta man?
He's like, what?
Are you a meta man?
He clearly, compared to Jesse
Wow,
Lee Peterson,
you
everyone is.
got one. You got him, Jesse.
Nailed it.
You
I mean, yeah, when you just say such outlandish shit, eventually you're just going to stump your opponent. He's like, what are we even talking about now? You're bear. You're bear.
Just with actual question and answering, religion just retreats further and further into fantasy and self-gratification.
Or ignorance, so just things we just can't
Or just-
disprove.
Yeah, so
It's just sophistry. It's nonsense.
So, let's talk about Ozzy Osbourne, man. Ozzy calls next solo album greatest he's ever done.
damn.
Sold.
And he'd never heard of Post Malone before he collabed with him?
Yep.
Damn.
Or as CJ calls
What a
him,
boomer.
Moist Calzone.
Moist Calzone, Paul.
That's not his name.
Ozzy collaborated with Malone through Malone's producer, Andrew Watt. Ozzy enjoyed the experience of working with Watt behind the boards so much he decided to hire Watt to work on Ozzy's new solo record. And that music on the solo record is what Ozzy considers greatest material. Ozzy, I hate to break it to you, bro, but I don't think Ozzy Osbourne's going to fucking show up with his best material ever at the age of 70.
What if he does, though?
It'd be awesome.
What if he releases
had
the
like a
most
Johnny
face-meltingly
Cash-
classic album?
I fucking have
If he had
faith,
like
dude.
that Johnny Cashian sort of like late Renaissance kind of period, that'd be pretty fucking sick.
Oh, fuck that, dude. You're asking him to retreat into old age. What if he says exactly what he's saying? What if he tops all of his iconic fucking riffs and iconic vocal
Well,
lines?
I think Johnny Cash's last 4 albums were the best he ever did in his career.
I don't know about that, TJ.
Easily, Paul. Easily.
Well, you're a bigger Johnny Cash fan than I, so I'll defer
Well,
to
actually,
you.
maybe the two prison albums
See,
would
it's
disrupt
getting
that.
mushy already.
But whatever.
It's getting mushy already.
He had a
TJ.
late renaissance in his life. Maybe Ozzy could do the same.
Maybe
Anyway,
he can.
Ozzy says, I've made a new album and it's helped me get back on track. I was lying in my own self-pity for months. It's the greatest album I've ever done.
Wow. I'm on board.
And he's got the fact that Post Malone's producer is involved makes me think it's probably not the greatest album he's ever done, but whatever.
Oh, my God.
So here's Ozzy talk about Post Malone, or Moist Calzone as I like to call him. I'd never heard of this kid. He wanted me to sing on his song, Take What You Want, so I did, and then one thing led to another. Started recording a new album with Moist Calzone's producer, Andrew Watt. It's only 9 tracks, but it was a catalyst to get me where I am today.
See, Moist Calzone brought Ozzy back from the brink.
From
brought
the
him back
brink.
from the dead. He was laying in his bed, wallowing in self-pity, and this man that you so fucking disparagingly refer to as Moist Calzone,
Moist Calzone.
came and did what you could not as a purported fan of Ozzy, plucked him out of his depression, TJ, and brought him back to make his finest album ever.
Eva.
And what
So
do
here's
you get, what do
Ozzy.
you send towards Moist Calzone for that?
Hate.
Scorn.
Scorn and hate. Ozzy has also offered up this take on the modern-day music industry. And I'm sure if you actually listen to Ozzy say this, it'd probably be a lot more difficult to... Music goes straight online these days, and that's quicker than it takes to write a text. It's all about downloads and streaming now. What the fuck does that mean? What's Spotify? I thought it was a skin problem where you woke up Spotify'd. The album was all finished in 4 weeks. I said to Sharon that I didn't feel like I made an album because we haven't ended up screaming at each other.
Look at that.
So Oz not only was a new album the best he's ever done, but he fucking put it together in a month
Damn, dude.
with the help of Moist Calzone's
And you know what,
producer
TJ?
Andrew Watt.
When you hear
Finally
it-
now working with a real artist.
When you hear it now, TJ, it's going to blow your fucking mind, dude.
it fucking goddamn well better.
Oh, it's going to.
Best album ever.
Best album.
Ozzy already said it's best all time, dude.
All right, final story of the day, gentlemen. Kevin Spacey accuser dies in midst of sexual assault lawsuit.
Oh,
Wow.
shit,
Sounds like a
dude.
Frank Underwood move.
Yep. A lot of people are making Kaiser Soze and Frank Underwood jokes about this one. Some of them aren't really joking. An anonymous massage therapist who claims to have been sexually assaulted by Kevin Spacey has died, according to a notice filed in the court by the actor's attorneys.
Looks like there might have been a little leak, TJ.
The individual, suing as John Doe, filed claims in September 2018 with the allegation of being forced to grab the actor's genitals twice during a massage 2 years earlier in a private residence in Malibu. In May, a federal judge in California allowed the case to move forward despite Spacey's objection that the plaintiff's identity was being shielded. Now, just a month after the parties came to a plan for proceeding in the suit, the detailed prospective discovery, and envisioned a 7 to 11-day trial, the plaintiff's attorney has informed Spacey that the client has recently passed.
What a tragedy.
No further details provided, and a request to the plaintiff's attorney for more information has not been answered.
Wow.
You know, accidents happen.
Don't Me Too Spacey.
Yeah.
This is a clear shot across the bow to anybody that's thinking they're going to Me Too
this is actually
Spacey.
the second Kevin Spacey accuser to die.
Really?
Under mysterious circumstances,
Hey,
and
you know, people
the
are
one,
unlucky.
the one who brought criminal charges against him decided all of a sudden to plead the fifth and not say anything, and that led to the dismissal of that case.
I mean,
So
hey,
Kevin Spacey just having a run of really good luck when it comes to this shit.
you know what?
You
People-
know?
You shouldn't fuck with Kevin Spacey, man. Look, those movies were a fucking hit,
There's a little
TJ.
bit. I think there's a little bit more of Frank Underwood and Kevin Spacey than people fucking probably realized.
Well, it seems that way.
I mean,
He's
obviously,
making people offers they can't refuse.
Well, look what happened, dude. He saw what happened to Bill Cosby, and Kevin Spacey went, "Not me, kill him,
not me, bitch.
pull the trigger."
All of Kevin Spacey's accusers are dead.
Well, guess I can. Like, shit, what happens with the mob,
Guess
dude?
there's no way to proceed
what,
now.
What happens with the mob, TJ? They don't want you to testify. What happens to you?
The spacey mafia.
Dude, Spacey is the mob now.
Yes, you swim with the fishes then.
Are you with Spacey or against Spacey, TJ?
I'm definitely with
think you
him.
need
You
to-
better take a stand right now.
I think we better, for our own safety, just
Yeah.
kind of stay neutral in this.
Do it
endeavor.
safely. Go with Spacey.
Watch yourself, TJ, even to be a neutral, man.
Oh, you think he's even going to go after the neutrals at some
You
point?
better never speak about him again then.
All
Don't
right.
take a soft stance on this.
I'm going to have to fucking Kevin
Boss
Spacey definitely takes a hard
Yeah,
stance
Boss
on it.
Spacey does not like people. You know, he doesn't like lukewarm
Maybe
people.
maybe a
It,
tragedy
it seems like he
befalls you,
doesn't
TJ.
like. It seems like he doesn't like people who go against him. So I'm hoping he'll fucking at least prioritize them first. If literally everyone who goes against Spacey dies, then I'm gonna have to be like, you know what, we pro Spacey here. But for now, I think we can afford
How many
to stay
more?
neutral.
How many more bodies have
I
to
know,
pile
damn.
up?
I don't know.
Does it have to be like the vaping crisis level of death?
Yeah, it's getting there.
I mean, so what? 7, 8 people, TJ, before you fucking pull the trigger?
The epidemic of Spacey-related
Listen.
deaths.
I believe in two things. The first is the innocence of Kevin Spacey, and the second is the principle that a man is innocent until proven guilty in this country. What has Kevin Spacey been proven guilty of in these cases, TJ? Not a goddamn
I
thing.
can't think of anything, TJ. Can you?
No.
There you go.
So you pro Spacey now?
I guess so.
All
I
right.
guess he's
You need
innocent.
to be.
I'll let the boss know.
He's got to be innocent.
I'll let the boss know then.
He's-
You made a good decision
He's
today, TJ.
too deadly to not be innocent.
You might not have walked out of this room had the wind blown the other way. I'm just going to tell you that much.
Oh shit.
You might have been the internet personality, the amazing atheist, found dead this morning in a pile of his own puke.
Oh shit.
With a cheap jug of wine next to him, as everybody expected. Toxicology reports were not done as the body was immediately cremated. There you go, TJ.
Oh man.
That was almost the
If
future.
TJ was found dead, I would definitely believe heart attack over anything.
Boss Spacey, dude. Boss Spacey don't like you, TJ.
What if he comes back? So, do you think Kevin Spacey is going to come back to his acting career? Or is that done? You
Probably
think,
at some point.
Do you think we'll see another Kevin Spacey
Yes.
role?
Yes, you will see Kevin Spacey again. Guaranteed.
What do you think? Is he going to be a big budget thing, or is it going to be like
Yes.
indie shit?
What's gonna happen is, see, Spacey's not super old. He's getting old, but he's not super old. What's he,
Right.
like 60?
Something like that.
I could check. Hold on.
Spacey's that type of guy that's gonna be like a Robert Redford. You know what I mean? He's just gonna keep acting until he's like 90.
He's 60.
And here's the thing. Yeah, so he's 60. Here's the thing. 10 years from now, the culture will have changed. All of this Me Too shit will have evaporated under a new wave of creativity, and some big budget studio is going to bring Spacey out, and he's going to have the fucking role of his career. All the critics are going to love him again. That's just the way this works. You don't get to Spacey's level.
And he hasn't been. And I mean, look, he's been accused of stuff, but like we said, the people have died. So
Where's the beef?
if there's nothing to point to, I mean, eventually they're gonna have to say, well, we have to hire him, or
I think
we're
the
gonna
peop-
hire him.
I mean, like, you don't think it's a little suspicious that everyone's dying or
Suspicious.
clamming up?
You know
Well,
what?
Suspicion doesn't
I found
prove it guilt, though.
I found personally, TJ, that suspicion, it's a dangerous thing to have. You know, I just try and clear my mind of such things as
Are
suspicion.
you like his muscle? What the fuck?
Am I his muscle?
Yeah.
TJ,
Maybe he's just flab.
I come before you here today and I give you nothing but respect, and you accuse me of being some
I ain't
meat-headed
accusing
muscle.
you of nothing.
I'm just telling you the way that Boss Spacey does business. That's all I'm doing. I'm a businessman.
Why are you calling him Boss Spacey?
I'm sorry. Kevin.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better, TJ?
Yeah, it sure does. All right, everybody. That was the latest episode of First Fur. And we will be back next Wednesday with more bullshit. See you then.
See.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Then-